Right. Okay. Today, let me share my screen. Today, I'm going to teach you. We have completed. Any doubts before we start today's session? If you would ask me anything, you can ask. Right. Uh, this will be the exercise that we're going to do today. We call it as tab settings. Right. So yesterday I showed the way of. I have showed you the way of enabling the ruler. Today I'll teach you. Let me check. Yes, I have enabled the recording, and today I'll show you the way of using that ruler. Right. So you know how to enable and what is the tab. Right. So we have to go to View tab to enable the ruler. Right. So from here only we have enabled the ruler. Right. And if you open existing document, what do you mean by that? If you open a document which is already designed, for example, this document is already created. Right. So if I double click that, you can see whatever data that you have inside the document, right? And if you want to edit, this document, if you want to change spellings, if you want to edit this content, you have to click on this enable editing. You should not close this, right? So here it says protected view. That means this cannot be edited now, right? So the data that we have here is protected, right? So here if you click on these menus, if you click on the menus that we have in the top, the menu, all the tools that we have here is hidden. All the tools that we have here is hidden. You can't click, you can't use this, right? Because still we didn't give permission to edit, right? So if you edit, you have to click on enable editing. So that is the way that we enable the editing, right? So now you can see in the top that protected is gone, right? So now we can make changes, right? So that is the usual thing. Now uh, to design this small application, let me check whether we have completed second one. Okay, so there are something to be completed in the second one. We'll do that and we'll go for the third one, right? So here it's very simple and it's straightforward, right? What they're asking, simple few questions, right? So you're going to read this and you're going to do that in the for the paragraphs or text that we can see here, right? So what they're asking, hope you can read. Replace all the word Sri Lanka to India, right? So here in this document you can see uh, there are many Sri Lanka. Here you can see there are many words saying Sri Lanka in every paragraph, right? So they wanted to change all Sri Lanka, all the name Sri Lanka into India, right? So they want to change these things into India, right? So first, this says the document title says source file, right? So this is the file that we use to copy data, and we need another brand new document to paste that. So I have created another brand new document. How that happened, right? So what is the shortcut key to create a brand new document? right? You have to press Control N, right? So or else we have to go to File and we have to click New, and then you have to click on this blank document. Without doing these many things, directly press Control plus N. So you will find two documents. Right. So whatever I had here, I highlighted it by pressing Control A. Right. So here see, when I press Control A, all what we have here will be highlighted, or we can say selected. Right. See, when I press Control A, all what we have here will be selected. Even if you have 10-15 pages. Right. If you have 10 pages in the document, all 10 will be selected. Right, and by pressing Control C, you know, right, the selected area will be copied. So in our case, we have highlighted the complete document, so everything will be copied, right? And then after going into, after opening a new document or wherever you want to paste, right? In today's session, I'm going to paste it in the brand new document, right, which is not there. No contents here, right? So I'm going to paste it by pressing Control V. Right click, you have more options here that you can select, right? So if you selected the last one, right, that means you're willing to have only the text. If you selected the very first one, then you're willing to have including the formatting, so I'm going to click the last one because I don't want any formatting works to be pasted here, right? Okay, so now replace all the word Sri Lanka to India, right? So how can we do that, right? So first here you can see in the home tab we have something called replace. In the home tab we have something called replace. If I click on that replace, we have three tabs here, right? The first one, find, it is not to replace, to find. Second one, find and replace, right? So find what and replace into what, right? For example, find Sri Lanka replaced by India, right? Or else here go to, right? If you selected page and if I type a number, if you have 200 page in this document, you can directly go into any page that you like. And if you have section, line, bookmark, comment, footnote, and there are many things here, right? So I'm going to you can click and see. Since we don't have any pages in the document, this cannot be tested, and we don't have any of this, right? We don't have any section, and lines can be selected, but you can give a try, right? So just a matter of selecting this find, or else you can go to replace and navigate the tab, right? In the replace same window you can find three tabs. That is also another way of accessing find and go. Okay. So I'm going to use replace. Now you know what to do, right? It's very simple and easy, right? So you're going to find Sri Lanka, right? So before we opening that, if you are lazy, copy, and if you are not lazy, type. Right? So in my case, I'm going to copy, but I'm not lazy. I'm going to paste it here as Sri Lanka, and I'm going to type India here. Right? Because I don't have India in the page to copy. We have, right? We have here, but okay. All the Sri Lanka will be detected one by one, and we can replace that into India, right? That is not only for Sri Lanka and India. We can find any words that we have in the document and we can replace, right? So here we have few ones. If I click on replace, this replacement will happen one by one. If I click on replace all, it will not show you, it will not ask you any confirmation, everything will be replaced automatically, right? And if you click on this find next, it will highlight and show you wherever we have, and then in the second round we can replace, right? For example, see here, when I click, it will highlight and show you wherever we have Sri Lanka. It is not replacing, it is just highlighting and showing us, right? So that's all we have, right? Again, it is showing the very first word, right? So we're going to click replace. Now this question, right? I don't want the question to be replaced, so I'm going to click find next. So this one we have to replace, right? So now without selecting on this find next, I'm going to click on replace. After clicking on replace, now here it says the prehistory of Sri Lanka. This is going to change into India. See here, and I click replace. That says the prehistory of India, right? And everything will be wrong, right? It's just for an experiment purpose. I don't think India, uh, these data are matching for India, right? Okay, I'm going to click on this replace again, and then it will highlight and show you again. If you click, that will be replaced one by one. This will be replaced, right? So okay, so that's all we have, right? So those are the words that we have, uh, and only one balance, that is from heading. So I mean question, I don't want this to be replaced. So that's all we have. I don't think that we can find any Sri Lanka in the page other than whatever we have in the question. Can we give a try again, right? So if I want my previous document back, right, we have something called undo, right? Undo, right? Undo, redo. We have for undo, right? To go back to the previous state, you're going to press Control Z, Control plus Z, right? So the last replacement that we had is changed back to the original word, which is Sri Lanka. Again, when I press, then before whatever we changed, maybe this will be changed into Sri Lanka. See, right? So one by one, I'm going to replace it back, or change it back, right? Okay, now I'll go back to the same window. This time I'm not going to click on this replace. I'm going to click on replace all, including question. It should get replaced. We'll say, right? So it says we made 6 replacement. That is this one is protected. We'll see. Okay, including 7, right? So because I was selected somewhere here, it will check towards down from this line. So that is what we had 6, right? And after checking again, it will recheck from the beginning. That is where they found the word found the one that we had in the top, right? So totally we had, they have replaced 7 words into Sri Lanka, right? Okay, so that's very simple, right? Okay, again we'll go and find another one, and we'll try to replace. Now we'll say I need all the word India in capital letters, right? So this is very helpful when you're editing a huge document, right? So if you got, I mean, you writing an article about something, right? And there are many names involved, and maybe you specially targeting on some area and you writing. So that specially targeted area name will be repeated many times in your article, right? Your article is long for maybe say 50 pages, right? And after complete writing only you found there is a spelling mistake in the name, right? The place name, there is a spelling mistake. So no need to find that one by one in all 50 pages. You're going to do it within 2-3 clicks, right? So that is where we use this replace. I'm going to click again, and I'm going to copy this India and I'm going to paste here, and I'll type India in capital. And when I click replace all, it says 11 replacement. How can that possible? Okay, maybe we already had some words India. Already we had some word India. So all got detected and it's ready to replace. Right. So here, uh, see, we had Indian. So that India is got replaced by capital, and N is still there in simple. So likewise, everything whatever we had already saying India also detected and replaced. So that is how we got 11. We had only 7 India. We had replaced only 7. But while you replacing 7, we didn't notice, but there maybe we had some words India already in the paragraph. So that is how we ended up getting 11 replacements, right? Okay, so that is first exercise. I mean, first question. Cut the last paragraph and paste it in the next page. So they asking you to move. They ask you to move this paragraph into a new page. So what I'm going to do is I'll highlight this paragraph and I'm going to right click, copy, right? And they ask you to cut and move, right? They ask you to cut and move the last paragraph into another page. So I right clicked it and I selected copy. And what is the difference between cut and copy? So when I copy this, and how can you access the another page? Here we have only one page and there are some blanks, right? So by pressing enter, you can't expect the word to give you another page since we have more space here, right? So what I'm going to do is without pressing normal enter, I'm going to press control enter, right? So I'm going to hold control and I'm going to press enter. We are in the second page. Control enter, right? So I click, right? You're going to press control. By holding control, you're going to press enter. If you are in the PC, you can give a try. That's very simple, right? Now if I paste it, you can see we have a duplicate here, and in two places this got replaced, right? In two places these available, right? The same paragraph is there in two different places. That is what we call duplicate, right? Okay, but according to the question, right, they are asking you to cut and paste. So what will happen if I did the same thing by right click and cut? See here, when I highlight and right click this, and if I selected cut, you will not see the paragraph here. See, when I click on this, you will not see the paragraph here. Wherever you paste, the paragraph will available only in that place. Right, so we have pasted here, but you will not find this in the original place. You will not find it here. That wherever you paste, it will be available only in the place that you pasted. Right, so that is what we call cut, and you know what you mean by copy too now, right? And correct grammatical errors, right? So whatever you can see in the red color, it is grammar mistakes, right? So whatever you can see in the blue color, if you can see something in the blue color, that means is here you can see. And if you got something after full stop, you are supposed to start with capital letter, right? So if you not started with capital letter, it will highlight and show you you trying to do something which is not it's not getting detected. So here even this will be detected, but we'll see, right? So it will take some time. Sometimes you have to close and open the document, right? You have to close and reopen the document. That is where these things will be detected, right? But here you can see there is a blue color sample. I have showed you what is how this blue color errors will have appear, right? Why this one came? Here you can see when I click, there is a space towards right and left. That means we have two spaces here, right? So the document will think that these by mistake, and we by mistakenly only we did, so it is suggesting you to recorrect it, right? That is how we are going to recorrect. Else we can ask document what is the mistake that I did, so it will say this is the proper way of having it, right? So if you got any blue color underline, you can right click and see what is the proper way of correcting it. So if you click this first suggestion, here in our case they have suggested only one, so if I click on this, that will be corrected, right? And why I am not getting this capital issue, right? So there is an issue which is there even in the capital letters, but that is not getting detected now. Maybe after we'll save and close, and we'll reopen and see whether that is getting detected. So all the blue color means not grammatical issues. These are alignment and formatting mistakes. Right, align and formatting mistakes. Whatever you can find it in red, right? Those are grammatical errors, but you can't expect Word to know all the names, right? So how these things are getting detected? If you can find some words in the dictionary, that English dictionary, if you can find some words in the English dictionary, that word can be corrected, right? So can we find uh, the address, right? Whatever city names, uh, whatever names that we getting in our address, or whatever names that we have, can we expect that to have in the dictionary? They don't refer dictionary and name people, right? Correct, right? So those things also will be detected as a grammatical error, and it will not suggest you to replace anything. Even they suggested, they are not, it is not completely relevant, right? So for example, if you type something called Sigiriya, right, here it says Ravanas, right, and Varyapola. Do we have Varyapola in the English dictionary? Right, so these things cannot be corrected using a word. Right? So you can purposely ignore that. I mean, you can say, you can ask Word, right? You can ask Word to skip that or ignore that, right? I know it is correct, but I am willing to keep it. So that is what you're saying by ignoring, right? So Ravana is wrong according to dictionary, but that I need this word to be here, right? So if you need this word to be here, and if you are I mean, if the red color underline is disturbing you, you can right click here and you can select. There are many suggestions they gave from dictionary, right? So I don't think you can replace with one of these, right? So I'm going to click on ignore all, right? So if this Ravana repeated again and again in the same document, all these Ravanas will be ignored. So that is what we say, ignore all. Right. So it is Ravana and it is Ravanas. Right. So here we have to ignore this separately, since we have apostrophe s. So this will be detected as a different word compared to this. So I'm going to right click here and I'm going to say ignore all. Right. If not, if I remove this, apostrophe s, that will be corrected automatically, because we already said here to ignore all these words in the document, right? So since we have already instructed Word to do that, if it is if you found any similar words, that will be ignored, right? So I'm going to right click and ignore all the names. Balangoda, Belene, right? So this can be Indian, right? And these are an English word, and there are some English words there, but still uh, it's showing as errors, right? So these English corrections we're not going to ignore, we're going to correct it, right? So to correct that, I'll go to review. I'll go to review tab. Here you can see we have something called spelling and grammar, right? So if I click on this spelling and grammar, there are two ways that you can replace. You can directly right click and select the correct one. You can right click and select the correct one, or else if you found many mistakes, better we can go and access spelling and grammar window, right? So in the right hand side you can see, you can see it will highlight and show you the first mistake, and it will suggest you all the possible changes, all the possible correct words, and you can select whatever correct word that you need, and you can click on change and change all. Ignore once. Ignore once mean if you found a name and if you corrected it, and then the same name is repeated again and again in the document, but you willing to change only the first name, then you're going to click ignore once. Right? Or you're going to ignore only the first name, then you can click ignore once. If you want to ignore all the names in the document, you're going to click ignore all. Right? So add mean you can add a word, I guess. Right? I have not tried this. You can try and let me know. And if you are while you accessing this spelling and grammar, you will find this button. You click and see what is happening by selecting on this. Right? Okay, so I'm going to click change. Right? So not change all. Change all mean all the similar mistakes, all the similar corrections will be changed. Right? So in this case, I'm not going to click on this change all. I'm going to click on change. The second mistake, and there are two corrections they have given. I'm going to select on the first one and click change, and traveler, this will be this correct word according to me. I'm going to click and change, and see, is that a name? So I'm going to will ignore it, right? And here you can see this may be the correct, and if you are not sure, we'll ignore it. And here you can see created, so there's and probably and numbering and theorized, so it says ZED and it says SCD, so we'll say whatever word suggesting, right? So now it says there are no grammar mistakes. If you got everything corrected, hope you can see this in your PC, right? It will say no proofing errors, right? So it will say a right symbol. It will click and say a right symbol, right? So if you got any mistakes here, if you got any mistakes, it will show you the icon will be changed into a cross, right? So icon will be changed into cross. See here, when I replace with the correct one, it says all correct. There are no mistakes. Right? So that is how we use Word to correct mistakes. Right? Okay. Now, finally, they want the document to save. Right? They wanted this document to save. To save this document, what you want to do is we have to go to save, and we have to use ex2. Okay, we'll use only the word ex2, or else we'll say ex2 completed. Since we have ex2 source file or something, we're going to say ex2 complete. At the same time, they want our document is saved as PDF. Right? So they need our document to save as PDF. So I'm going to go to file, and I'll go to save as, and I'll select a location in here. So I'll go and click on the browse, and I'll go and select this PC, and we have this in two location wide. Okay, so I'll go inside this mxport, and we have es2 source file, and I'm going to replace this as es2 completed file. And I'll give you the source file to do this. Right? I'll give you the source file that I edited to do this. Right? So I have named it properly. I'm going to click save. Okay. So all the mistakes that we had here is corrected. Okay. So according to this, the last thing that we have to do, save the same document. Save the same document as PDF. Right? So to save it as PDF, you're going to go to File, Save As, and when you're trying to save, you can select PDF. Right? Same way, what you want to do, save as and browse, the way that I did before. But after typing a name, we're not going to click save without selecting PDF. So we have to click PDF, then the data, I mean the file type will be converted into PDF. And so what is the difference between normal MS Word document and PDF? You can't edit it, right? So PDF files can be viewed, but we don't give PDF files if they want to edit, right? Okay, so this is one way. You can click on this PDF and you can give a name, you can say, or else go to export. Go to export without going into save as. We're going to go to export. Here they have given you a separate button to save it as PDF. So there are two ways that you can use to save a document as PDF. So I'm going to click here, and automatically the save as type says PDF, and I'm going to say the same name, right? ex2 completed file, and I'm going to click publish. And what do you mean by these tools, and what do you mean by these options? What are these? Right. So there are some, let me check. There are some interesting things there, right? Okay. If you need, uh, you sending it commonly in a page, right? You maybe you don't have contacts of those people, will say, right? There are many of them. They are in the group, right? Uh, we'll take it like this. I'm going to send you your marks, right? I'm going to send you your bird marks after completing the exam. I'm going to send you your bird marks, and there are many students in a common group. There are many students there in the common group, right? In the common group, I'll upload the PDF, right, which is having all your marks detail, right? But in that specific group, there are people even from other batches, right? We'll say even from other batches. We'll take it as a WhatsApp group, right? There is a WhatsApp group where you can find all the batch and all the program students. And I'm publishing your marks. I'm uploading a PDF file to that specific group, and I'm asking to refer your marks. If I just send it, whoever click on that result sheet, they all can see your marks. Right? But if you made it like this, if you can set a password, right? For example, encrypt the document with a password. So if I check this box, and if I click on OK, they'll ask you to create a password. So in my case, I'm going to type 1234, and I'm going to confirm that password saying 1234, and I'm going to click OK. Then, so it says no, 1234 is having only 4 characters. They need at least 6. Maximum you can go up to 32, right? So 1234 is not enough. I'm going to go back and type 123456. Well, type the minimum accepted length, which is up to 6. So I have typed 123456 repeated again, and when I click OK, that's done, right? Now if I click on publish, right, so document will be converted into PDF, right? And automatically it's opening. I mean, I'll close it and I'll reopen it and I'll show you, right? So this may be the result sheet that I sent you to the common group, and I have texted you, right? Because we can't send you. For example, we'll say in the text message, right? I can't send you PDF. Can we do that? No, right? So in the text message, I have circulated the password, right? So those who having password, after double click, no data will be visible. Here, see, you can't read this PDF until you type a password. If I type a wrong password, let me check. If I type a wrong password and when I submit, it says incorrect password, right? So until you typing the correct one, 123456, and when I submit, the document will be available to you, right? Not only PDF, even Word can be blocked in that way, and Word files also can be saved, uh, like we saved PDF. So we have to go to save as, and we have to go to browse, and I'll save this as we have already saved. So we'll save this as protected or encrypted. You can have any names that you like, and you're going to go to tools, and here we have general options. Maybe save options or general. Well, first we'll check on the general options, and we have password, right? So we have to go to tools, and we'll go to general options, and we're going to type a password here. I'm going to type 123456 again, 1256, and here it is not to repeat, right? The second time that you have to type here is not to repeat. You can even have two different passwords. So I'm going to have this one 126, and this one will say 789456, okay? 789 and 456. So what do you mean by the what is the difference between these two, right? Anyone having any idea? What do you think will be the difference? Password to open, password to modify. என்னதான் இருக்கு? மொனாக்கில இதுதானே. We have 10 in it.
You can edit the document with the modify password.
Yes. So in the first password,
you can only view the document, right?
yes, exactly. Correct. So in the first password, you can only view the document. You can see only the content. You can't make changes. Right? If you have the second password only, you can modify. Give me a minute. Sorry. Right? So that is the difference. Right? So here, can you remember the password that I entered? Here we have entered 126, and here 789456. Okay, I'm going to click OK, and now they are asking me to re-enter the password to open. So here we enter the password to open. So I'm going to type that. That is 123456. Okay. Now they are asking what is the password that you entered to modify, to reconfirm. So you have to type the same password that you entered in the second box. So here I entered 789456, and I'm going to click OK. Right. Now I'll click save. Right. Now when I close these documents and I'll go back to the folder, I'll refresh, and can you see there are two documents here, one saying completed file and protected. So when I double click this protected, it will ask you to type uh, the password that to open, right? So I'm going to say 123456. Okay. Now they are asking me to type the password to modify. If you have no idea about the password to modify, you can click on read only. Then you will be given access to see the contents, but you can't make. Yeah, it says read only, but you can't make change. Let me try changing this into Sri Lanka, and when I try to save. I will say 01. So what is the purpose of read only? Let me close and reopen it. We'll give a try again. Right. So we have deleted newly saved file, and I'm going to double click this, and I'll go here, and I'm going to type the password to open. So 123456 is the password to open. And I have no idea about this modify password. Let's assume it that way. I'm going to click read only. Right. Still we getting still we getting edit window. Let's see whether we can save this. Okay, so what is the different? You can edit, but you can't save it to the same file, right? So here you can see I have edited this. Editing privilege is given, editing power is given, but you can't save it as same document, right? If I need the document in the same name, that cannot be done. See here, when I try to save, it says you trying to save or change read-only file, right? So this cannot be done. So that is the difference, right? But if you used another name, that this can be saved, right? For example, if I say -1, and when I save, now I have a different name, and this can be saved, right? So what is the purpose? What do you think will be the benefit of having read only, right? So some people can say even those who have no idea about the modifying password, they also can edit this, right? So what is the special reason to have modify password, right? Here, if you go to the properties of this, right, we can see details, and you can see originally created time, right? So here originally created time, right? And this will be changed. This will be changed. These data will be changed. Whatever data that you can see in the properties will be changed if you save as, right? So if someone gave you the document, and you, without their permission, if you try to modify, if they want to catch whether you have did with the permission or without the permission, this can be checked. So the detail, this can be checked, and that is where you will get caught, right? So that is the protecting thing which is happening if you don't have the modifying password, right? So that is the way the document can be protected if you don't have the modifying password, right? So what is the lesson that we can learn out of this? If you're having any concern of people, those who if you think that they'll edit your document, better don't give both the passwords, right? But if you want them to read the content, and if you are not willing to give them to edit permission, convert it as a PDF and send them, right? So if you are not giving them to edit permission, then what is the why we need to give them as a Word file? So we can convert it as a PDF file and send them. Anyway, they can't edit it. They can read it nicely, even without MS Word software installed, right? To open PDF, as you all know, no need to have MS Word software, right? They can open it in browser or PDF reader. There are many tools which is there in computers. They can open and read your data, right? So they will feel more convenient than sending as a document if they really wanted only to read, right? So this can be done, right? Okay, let me check what else we have in the folder. Third one is regarding tabs. And third one is regarding tabs, right? So here I'll quickly show you the way of using this tab. It's very easy and straightforward. And if you know the way of using ruler a bit, this is not a big deal, right? So I'm going to go and open a new document. Right? And here we have some data, right? So here there is a heading, there is a subheading, right? So these are the main heading saying tab settings. I don't think that we need that to be inserted in the exercise. So I'll start with employee personal details. So I'm going to type personal details, right? So in the next row, I'm going to start typing these field names and the blank space. So after taking a printout, we can ask users to write their first name here, write their last name here. It is kind of application that we're designing. And So we trying to design an application here, right? So more employee personal details, and I'm going to apply some basic formattings to this. Control V, Control U, and if you really need to increase the font size, that comes can be done. Okay. So before you start editing the second from the second row, we have to finalize some tab settings in the ruler. And if the ruler is not there, you can go to view and you can enable the ruler and disable the ruler from by selecting this checkbox I have already showed you, right? So I'm going to keep this ruler enabled and I'm going to set my tab settings. Okay. So here can you see some additional symbols here? So that is what we call tabs, right? Here we have to have three alignments. First align to start these field names, then that will be there straightly. The second align to start these dot lines. You can see these are not manually created, so it will exactly start and stop in the same align as you can see here, right? So I'll show you how to create that, right? And third one to stop the dot line, right? So totally we need three, but in our case there is a ruler starting all the way from this corner, right? So I don't think that we need a special tab points to start field name, so I'm going to skip that part. And we'll have two tabs to start dot line and
Excuse me,
stop.
sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a program at 12:30, as I mentioned in the WhatsApp.
Yes, who is this?
Uh, I'm Zamir.
Okay, Zamir. Right,
Okay,
this
sir.
the session is being recorded. Make sure you going through with all complete session after your work done.
Okay, sure, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, Zamir. Okay, see. Right. So here you can see. So in this, according to this exercise, we're going to have only two tabs. No need three, right? Because for the first one we have default align, and we no need to make this automatically. That is available. So we'll go and open a brand doc. Okay, now we have this title, and we're going to type first name and these dots, and we're going to keep on pressing that same tab key. Tab is the key that we have to use when you editing tab settings. Right? Let me show you that. You know which we call as tabs. So this is the key that you have to press in order to work with these tabs, right? So if you press it once, the cursor will come somewhere here, and after completing that work, if you press this tab again, the cursor will directly jump into the next one, next tab that we marked in the ruler. That is how these things will work, right? So we'll create three tabs. To create that, first we're going to start it here, and then we'll say we're going to start it from 1.5, right? You can decide whatever number that you like, and I'm going to click on this 1.5. So I need my dotted line to start from 1.5. I need that until we'll say 3.5. To write first name, that space is enough, right? So I'm going to have it until 3.5. So we have two tabs marked in the top. Now I'm going to double click one of these two, right? So just double click one of these two tabs. So if I double click on the second one, you can see there is a window saying tabs, and all the points that we marked in the ruler is available here. So the first one is there 1.5, the second one it says 3.5. So all the tabs that we marked in the ruler is available, right? So now you have to decide from which point to which point we need dotted line. So we need dotted line from 1.5 to 3.5. So I'm going to select the last point, and I'm going to change the style. So it's the default one is none, no styles. I'm going to change this into the normal full stop. Even you can have dash, hyphens, and you can have underscore, right? So I'm going to go with this full stop, right? And I'm going to click set and OK. So once you completed doing that, I'm going to have this first name, and you know, after typing this you have to press tab key in the keyboard, then it will directly take you to the first line. We have two tabs, so it will directly take you to the first tab. So you can see the cursor is appearing here, and no need to type anything because we have already asked tab settings. We are already asked in the tab settings to insert the dotted underline automatically. So we're not going to type anything. We're going to directly press on the tab button again. You will see these lines automatically. Now, how can we access row number 2 without using enter? Right? Better to use tab until we completing the first set. Right? So tab again. The cursor will come somewhere here. Keep on pressing tab again. So it's going somewhere here, and after some times we will see the cursor in the proper place. Okay, so there is issue. And I'll go back from the beginning. Since we don't have any tabs assigned here, after completing the first row, it's going directly to the second row first tab, so which is not ideal, right? So I'll press it again, and after generating this, in our case, we'll press enter. Right? If you have any tab assigned for the first field name, then you can use tab to do that. Right? So I'm going to type and here what is the other thing that we have? L tab. You know why I wanted you to keep on pressing that tab? Here you will find a different. Let me show you. Right. So here we have entered until address. Just pressing enter and pressing enter with shift is two different things after 2010 version. Right? So just pressing enter means you saying that you have to go to second paragraph. By holding shift, if you press enter, you saying that you have to go to second line. Right? So here see I'm pressing shift and now I'm creating a sample field name. Can you see the difference? So these all they are in a different line, but when it's come to the last two, there is a small gap. Hi. There is a small gap, right? So we have to make sure which one you need, right? So that is what I wanted you to go as a normal way, but we didn't have any first steps in the at the beginning of the ruler, so we have to press enter. Right. Okay, so let me remove this, right? And it is not ideal, right? So we can't expect users to write their information in this small gap, right? So let's remove that and we'll press now. When it's come to the second set, there is a completely different line that we have to make, right? So what I'm going to do is press enter 2 times, right? So I'm going to press enter 2 times and I'm going to remove these things because I'm going to have different set of tabs. You can see different set of tabs. I need to start it here, stop it here, again start, stop, again start, stop, right? So whatever we have now in the ruler is wrong, right? So first we have to remove this, right? There are many ways to remove. First, click and drag down. Click panni pidi keela drag panina sorry. Right click karla balleyada drag karana hari. Ehema natta go to if not double click and go to tabs. Here we have something called clear all. Right? Just click on this clear all and click OK. Make sure to have your cursor outside, right? So if your cursor is there somewhere here and if you try to remove that, these data also will be removed. These data also will be removed. See something wrong happening here, right? So you have to make sure to have your cursor somewhere outside. So that is what I said. Press enter 2 times first, right? Press enter 2 times first and then consider editing the ruler, and if you want to remove it, so do something. And after complete designing the first set, if you are not happy with the given space, right, there are some having names, it is kind of paragraph, a long name, right? So then the space that you gave to them is not enough, right? So they have to have a huge space to write their content or data. So if you need to increase this, right, after typing, you can highlight this entire set and you can modify the space here, right? For example, if you click and drag, all the lines that we created will be dragged, modified. So I'm going to have it until 4, and I don't think we need to go from 1.5. We can have it even from somewhere here, even from 1. So that can be modified, right? Okay, so now uh, second set. So before creating second set, I'm going to double click and remove, clear all. So we can't find any tabs in the ruler, and I'm going to type target achieved last 3 months, right? So I'm going to say targets achieved last 3 months, and I'm going to type name January, February, and March, right? So I'm going to type name January, February, March, right? So here, according to this, I'm going to have some space at the beginning, right? So I'm going to have some space at the beginning. So we'll start by giving some space using tab, right? So the first one is to start name. So I'm going to click somewhere here. We'll start it from 0.5, and the name January will start it somewhere 1.5, and February will start it. Okay, so January there should be a stop point, right? So I'm going to have it until 2.5, and I'm going to start February by 3, and I'm going to have it until 4, and I'm going to have March from 4.5, and I'm going to have it until 5.5. So there are some tab points that I marked, and I'm going to enter data. So I'm going to type John JOHN. So that's how we write. Okay. And then I'm going to press tab again, and I'm going to say January. In tab, I'm going to say February. Then I'm going to press tab, and I'm going to say March. Press enter. Now I'm going to go to tab settings, and I'm going to enable these dot lines from the tab settings, because I didn't want to have tab settings for the heading, but now I need, right? So when I was editing the first row, uh, I didn't have any dotted line enabled. Right now I'm going to enable that, right? So once you double click this tab window, you will find many points now, right? Since we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, see here, and double click, you'll find many points now, right? So don't get confused. You see your ruler and decide. Very simple, right? See your ruler and decide wherever you need, right? So according to the ruler points, I don't want to have any dots between 1 and 2, right? So 0.5 to 1.5, no need any dotted lines, but from here, right, for January I need, so from 1.5 to 2.5 I need, so select 2.5 dot and set, and from 3.5 to 4 point we need, so select 4 dot set. Now 4.5 to 5.5 I need, so select the last point dot set. Now when I click OK, and I'm going to type, sorry, this should be name, right? And here I'm going to type John and normal tab. Whatever I did is wrong, right? So whatever I did is wrong, because here whatever I have enabled can be modified, right? So I have, what is the mistake that I did? I have entered the month in the wrong position. Now that is okay, right? So now after complete doing the first row, since we have tab points in all the rows, I'm going to keep on pressing this tab, and I'm going to say, we'll say second person, employee, and I'm going to press tab there. Okay. I'm going to come again, and I'm going to say and easy, right? Right, this can be keep on creating, right? This can be keep on running to any number of rows that you like. Right? Can I explain this again? I'll remove everything. Right? So I'll remove everything and I'm going to explain to you from the beginning. Right? See here. First, design and first finalize how you need. Right? First, finalize your designing pattern. How you're going to have these field names. Right? So in this case, in exercise, they have given already. Right? But when you're designing it in your own, you're going to have your own style. So that time, first finalize how you need this document to be created. First, you have to take that decision, and then you're going to start designing. So here, uh, since they have already given, I'm going to create as it is. So I'm going to have small space at the beginning, and I'm going to have this name. Okay, and some space January, some space February, some space March. Right. So first I'll go back and I'm going to have name here. Name here. So 0.5. If I call these numbers, if you're getting confused, we'll skip calling that number. Right. I'm not saying you can't have it between 0.5 and 1. You can have it anywhere that you like. Right. So for better understanding only I have selected these milestones, I mean the complete numbers, right, without having 0.7, 0.8. So I have directly said 0.5, 1, 1.5 for better understanding. You can have any number in the middle too. Right? The ruler can be used in any ways that you like. Right? Okay. So now we'll have a space to type name. And then I'm going to have some space to start January, and I'm going to have some space to stop that January, and I'm going to give some space again to start February, and I'm going to have it until this, and for March, and for March finish. Okay. Now press tab and I'm going to say name, and press tab again, I'm going to say January. Press tab again to finish January. So I'm going to press again to type February. I'm going to press tab to finish February, and to start March again I have to press. Right. So that is a mistake that I did in the previous attempt. Now that part will be okay. After complete finalizing the first row, I'm going to press tab and I'm going to keep my cursor in the second row, or else if you need more space after this, press tab and for finish March and press enter. Right. And then press tab. You have to type name and you will generate some dot lines. So before we finalizing, or before we start typing data into the second row, you have to finalize your tab settings. So I'm going to go double click and open this, right? And 0.5 to 1.5 I need name, so there are no dots, right? So here to here, but between 1.5 to 2.5 I need some dot lines, so I'm going to have it and set. And for February 3.5 to 4, sorry, 3 to 4, and for March 4.5 to 5.5. So last, select the last point always and click OK. Now I'm going to say John, and I'm going to have this. And if you need space, you're going to press enter. If you need like shift enter, you're going to keep on pressing tab, right? Or press shift enter. And in my case, I'm going to press enter since I found no proper space. Now we have it. And I'm going to press enter and I'm going to say working in the company, and the target achieved in 2 months. 3 months, right? Have until March. Right. Okay. So that is how we create. And if you need to apply any formatting works, that can be applied. So we'll say bold. Right. So that's all. Any doubts here? Any doubts? Right. So give a try and let me know if you got any doubts. Right. So you're going to design this as well, right? You're going to design this tab settings as well for the second activity, right? Now there may be a question that which will come up to your mind: how can we submit without having the teams, right? We'll submit as usual, right? We will submit as you did before, right? How we did before. You're going to upload it to the OneDrive and you're going to submit, right? So deadline will be updated to your group, right? So since unfortunately something wrong happened to the teams, and while I'm correcting it, you can you design it in your PC, and there will be no uploading portal available until I'm correcting it. So for now, send me by uploading it into your OneDrive and share your file. Right, I'll download and keep it here. Right. So once you got all the portals ready, I'll ask you to re-upload everything there. Right. So whatever files that you're doing, make sure to keep a copy. Right. So if you upload it to your OneDrive and if you're sending it, then the OneDrive that will be available. Easy. Right. Okay. So now we'll save this. I'm going to click save as, and I'm going to save this. And what is the file name? We did 3, so I'm going to say ex3 completed file, and already there is completed file. I'm going to say 2, but you can save it as completed file. So this is the file that we just saved. Now what about this? Here you can see there is a MCQ paper designed, right, by having some answers to select, and for each question these how they be allocated, right? This much we have allocated for question number 1. This is the usual paper that you see, right? This is the usual format of the paper that you usually see, right? So if you need any requirement of designing this kind of paper, how can we do that? So that is what we can do now, right? These data can be copied from somewhere, or else I'll send you the same paper to insert data, but you have to know the proper way of formatting this, right? These nothing but bullets and numbering again, right? So these are nothing, just bullets and numbering, right? It will take very few minutes to design if you already know about bullets and numbering, right? So I'm going to open a new document. I'll close all what I have opened before, and I'm not going to save this, and I'll say control N to open a document, and I'm going have this heading there. I'm going to copy this. So since we have not enabled the editing, I can't copy, right? So I'll go close and I'll reopen, and I'm going to click enable editing. If I close, you'll not be able to get it back. So I'm going to click edit. So now you can copy. So I'm going to paste it as a normal plain text, right? So I can apply any formatting works that I like, right? So now I'm going to highlight this and bold, increase font size, underline. You know how to shortcuts, right? So this is the correct time to experiment all the shortcut keys that you know, right? So don't wait until you getting familiar with all the advanced options to start using these shortcuts. You have to start using it right now. Okay, now here you can see, if you can remember whatever I said in the bullets and numbering, according to this set of questions and answers, how many levels that we have to define in the multi-level list in the bullets and numbering, right? What do you think? How many levels that we have to define before we start designing? Do we need only level 1, or do we need only level 1 and 2, or do we need level 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, or how many levels that we need in order to create this paper? What do you think? Any answers? Anyone in here? Yeah. Two levels. So Hussein said 2 levels.
Are the marks right aligned?
Okay. So for marks we can use right align, correct. Abbas, want to say something? And what about others? Abdul Rahman, and we have Lithia, Fairuz. Okay. So Hussein is the one who said, right? And Hariri, Rabia, Tasneem, we have many in the class. What do you think? Just tell me a number. That's okay. Right. So here, according to this exam paper, right, we can take 2 levels. And as Hussein said, we're going to have this marks towards right? So here, uh, level 1, level 1 will be number 1 and a bracket. Level 2 is again an order list, but as an ABCD, right? So again level 2, level 1, level 2, level 1, level 2. So that is the simple way that they have used. So I'm going to right click and save this file to the desktop, and I'll show you the way of uploading that file again. So we'll say Q question. What is the number? Q4 pick. I'm going to save this in the desktop, and I'll move it here again when we're designing the new document. Right? Okay, so now I'll keep my cursor here, and the first part, as you all know, it is bullets only, and it is order list only, numbering only, and here we have both, right? uh, Even you can go and define something here, but since we're using two different types, since we're using number and ABCD, will go to multi-define, multi-level, new multi-level list. So I'm going to go and select this, the last one, as we already did. So we're going to go and select define new multi-level list, then you will be taken here, and we're going to edit only 2 levels, level 1 and level 2. So for level 1 we need number 1 and bracket, right, as we expected, that is there as it is, right? For level 2 we need ABCD, but for ABCD order, for after A we're not expecting to have any brackets, we're going to have one dot. Right, so I'll go back and I'll remove this bracket. I'm going to have this dot, right? So you can have any formatting works that you like, but you have to make sure you're not removing this A, But if you removed it, what can we do? Again, by typing A back, can we get back to the same feature? All what you're going to get as a level 2 will repeat A again. The same A will be repeated again and again. It will not be updated to BC. And so we have to make sure to have that same list, and with that list you can have whatever formatting that you like. And so I'm going to have level 1, level 2, that's all we need. I'm going to go and click OK. Okay. So here I'm going to type a sample question. But I can read, so don't write. Okay. Now if I press enter, you can see question number 2, right? So I'm not going to type question number 2. I'm going to give some options to select MCQ answers to select from question number 1. So I'm going to press tab key in the keyboard. So you will be taken into level 2. You will be taken into the second level. So now you can type some answers. We'll say according to this question, since I can read, there are some answers that you will get 500, 650, 800, and we'll say 900. Right now I'm going to press enter again. Right now we have to allocate a marks. Right, so I'm not going to use the next option E. I'm going to remove that, and I'll type marks. We'll say 5 marks will be allocated. See, is a French based question. I'm going to allocate them 5 marks. Right, so I'm not going to display these marks here. I need this to be displayed towards right. Right, so as Hussein said, I'm going to highlight whatever that I have to move towards right, and I'm going to click right align. Okay. And then press enter again, and I'm going to come back to the same position again, right? And or else can we do can we finalize all these bullet points first and then we'll insert marks? That will be easy, right? So if you inserted in the middle, coming back to the same track is a bit difficult, right? So I'll go back again and I'll start it from here, right? So when if I press enter, we getting E. So I'm not going to use E. I'm going to use this question number 2, right? So this time we'll have a real type of question. We'll say so when I press enter, we're getting into the third question, and if I press tab, we give you second level, and you can start typing the answers that you need. And again press enter, shift tab, question number 3, have your question number 3 here, press enter, tab, have your answers here. Again, have to go back to your question number 4 and have your question number 4, type it in English. I know this language, I'm dealing with this, but wait, and I'm going to have my last question, which is 5, and I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to have 3 answers. Space. So we are in which planet, and it's about that, right? Since you can't read, we have limited number of answers here. Okay. Now we'll allocate some marks. So I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to erase, and I'm going to type the marks that I'm willing to allocate. I will say 5 marks, and as someone said, I'm going to move it towards right. And I'll do the same thing again for this. So I'm going to press enter, remove, and this will say 3 marks and towards right. So it will be easy, right? So rather than doing it for every row in the same order, if you can complete this leveling part first, and if you can come back and have your marks, that will be easy. We'll use shortcut key to write a line. What is the shortcut key? Control R, right? Answers, but the weight of the question is high, right? So I'm going to allocate 10 marks to that. Okay, so that's our way, right? So if you know the content already, the formatting works will take very few minutes. And if you know the contents already, the formatting works will take very few minutes, since you already know the way of working with these bullets and numbering. Right. So you're going to have some sample questions here in English, right? And you can have any number of answers for each and every question that you mentioned here. You can have any marks. You can have any marks that you're willing to allocate. Right. Okay, with any title, but I need the formatting works to be done properly. So that is the expectation. I mean, that is the learning outcome of this activity, right? These data can be modified with any data that you like, right? Any type of questions that you like. Any doubts here? And I didn't show you the way of insert in the picture. Okay, so for this question, maybe we'll assume we have one image to be inserted for question number 4. What I did is, keep your cursor at last, press enter. It will say 5. We're not going to have 5th question here, so delete that. 5 will be moved here. Now press enter to generate some space, and we'll give it something like this, and we're going to go to insert, and we have pictures, and from this device, or you have to have, you are you willing to download an image from online. So these are the two options that is available. I'm going to insert it from this device, I mean from my laptop. So I'm going to click this device, and we're going to select where you have the image. So I have my picture saved in my desktop, so I'm going to select this, and I'm going to click insert. So I don't want this image to appear this big, right? So I'm going to reduce that size by click and dragging these corners, right? So I'll reduce and keep it like this, okay? And I don't think we need these much space, right? So we'll have one space from the top and one space from the bottom. So that is giving us a clear picture, right? Now I don't have any borders visible here. I don't know where that image border is getting stopped, and from where we starting the blank page, right? If you need a border, click on that image and go to format, and here we have many types of borders. We have many types of borders, right? So I'm going to go and select the basic one, right? And if you still not happy with the default basic one, you can even modify this, right? So it has more weight. I'm going to reduce the size of the border in this way, right? And even we can consider removing that space, right? So people can refer this image, and they can select whatever answers that you're willing to they accept. I mean, you can have some numbers here, and you know, right? Right. Any doubts? Anything to be clarified? Hussein? All okay?
I'm good, sir.
Fairuz? Right. So we have two more areas to be completed. Sorry, one. Right. So the last one is completed already. This is regarding mail merge. Right. So we have completed two exercises in mail merge, and the last session. Right. So last session is table. Right. So it's regarding table. Can I explain this by today, and can we have our exam, online exam, by next Tuesday? Or what do you think? How can we plan that? Yes.
Is it the first table which you gave Sri Lanka map?
In the first class also we completed table.
Yeah,
Right?
I did it. I did it. So I didn't upload. Something wrong with my account, I think.
Okay. Let me check the submission submitted file, and I will make sure whether we
No, I
completed that.
haven't. I haven't submitted.
Yeah. But we'll see from others.
Yes.
We'll see. There is exercise number 1 submission regarding Sri Lanka. And yes. So you already know about the table. Right. So we are already aware about this table. Right. Then I'll give you a quick introduction. Right. So I'll give you a quick explanation about this table so that we can go for exam. So we can take the next Tuesday. Sorry. Yeah, we can take the next Tuesday for a revision session to finalize for maybe a mock exam, right? To finalize things, and by Wednesday we can have our exam, right? So that will be better, right? So give me some times, and already we have exceeded the time, but give me some times to explain you the table, and then we'll finish for the day, and you have time to refer this video until next Tuesday, so we can replay and do things in your own, and by next Tuesday we'll have our practical exam, right? So these regarding the table. Let me close this. Right. So I'll quickly show you the way of designing these 4 tables. Right. These all tables. And if we completed, that's all we have in MS Word. Then we can go for exam. Okay. So here the table number 1 is blank, right? I have, we have not applied any formattings here, just a selection, just 2 clicks, right? In table 2, you have some formatting works. In table 3, you have some merge cells and split cells and symbols. And table 4, you have some vertical and horizontal text and the basic formatting, right? So let me create a document, and here table 1, we'll name it as table 1, and we're going to have this table. So here we have 3 rows and 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, right? To insert that, we are going to insert and 4 columns and 3 rows, right? So that's simple, right? That's all. Just a selection, right? So we have already completed it, so I don't think I need more explanation to this, right? But now here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns and 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, right? So 5 columns, go to insert and I'll select 5 columns and I'm going to have 4 rows, right? In here I need this as time and 1 day and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and 8:30 a.m. 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. first session. Right, just examples. I'm going to copy and paste same thing again and again here to make it fast. And then I'm going to have these things added. Right, so we'll say MS Word conducted on this day, and by Thursday I'm going to start Excel. We'll say Wednesday and Thursday is for Excel. These are just records to fill the table, right? So now if I want to give more space, between these records, I can do many things. For example, by reducing the size of the font, we can generate some space, or else just click on the table. Here you can see there is an icon. That's by clicking and dragging this, you can see table height will be increased, even the table width can be increased, but we have used the maximum. It is not ideal to go for more than the border, so we'll keep it inside that, and we'll increase the height, right? And then we'll highlight and go to layout, and we'll enable this so that the data will appear in the middle. Right. Now we'll go back and see what are the formatting works that they have applied. So they have applied some formatting works to the main heading, first row. So I'll highlight these things like in this way, and you will not see the highlighted color around the border since we have increased the row height. Right, but we have highlighted it properly, we have selected it properly. So now whatever formatting that you apply will be applied for these selected cells. Right. So to apply that, I'm going to go to borders. Here we have borders and shading. Right. So the last one in the border menu is saying borders and shading. So I'm going to go to that borders and shading. First one is regarding the border that we have in the table. Second one is regarding the border that we apply to the page, not to the table, to the entire page. Third one is regarding the color, right? Color can be applied into cell, text, paragraph, or for the entire table. That cells mean, one box, we call it as cells, right? I'm going to say cells, and I'm going to select any colors that you like. For example, if I go and select the darkest color that we have, black, you'll not be able to read this text, right? Then you have to go and change the font color into white. Right. So I'm going to go and select something like this, and I'm going to say apply to cell. So now whatever cells that I have highlighted will be changed, right? So I'm going to do the same thing again and go to borders and shading, select a color, apply to cell, click OK. Right. right? So how can we apply a page border, right? So can we try that too? So first border is for table, second border is not for table, for the page. So if I click box and if I click OK, can you see there is a border around the page? Right? So if you need any borders around the page, you can have it in that way. Okay. So what it's saying in this third table here, you can say this bit complicated in the sense you can't have fixed number of columns and rows in this case, right? So in the first row we have one, I mean in the first three rows having less number of first column is not divided into rows, right? The first cell is there for 3 rows, second column is there for 3 rows. So and the first cell is there for single row, but when it's come to the second we have 3. That even the way of saying is also difficult now, right? So this huge box, and when it's come to the second it says 3, third it says 3. Here everything is same way like this, but the first cell is divided into 2, so there is bit complicated way, right? So we can make something like this, right? But when you count, you have to count it by skipping merge cells, then easy, right? So we'll assume we have these 2 lines, we'll assume we have these 2 lines, and we'll assume we don't have this divided line, right? So if we assumed in that way, now you know the fixed number of columns and row, right? Let me repeat it again. uh, we don't have 2 lines here, but we'll assume we have, right? Then that also a normal 3 cells, right? So this also will become normal 3 rows if you have these 2 lines. So we have these 2 lines and we don't have this divided line, so that entire cell is 1. We'll assume in that way, and now we'll start counting. If it is so, we have 1 2 3 4 columns, 4 columns, and 1 2 3 4 rows, right? 4 by 4, right? So I'm going to go back and insert that table 4 4. So I'm going to have 4 towards right, 4 towards bottom. Now we have these many rows and these many columns, and I'm going to click and drag to increase the cell size, and I'm willing to have the data in the middle. We are all done, right? Now how can I remove these 2 lines? How can I remove this line and this line to make something like this, right? Rather than calling it as removing, how can I merge these 2 boxes together? That is what we're going to do, right? So we'll merge first cell, second cell, third cell together, then all 3 will become as one box, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll highlight all 3, right click, merge cells. I'm going to click merge cells. Give me a minute. Right. So what happened when I merge all, select out all 3, and when I click merge cell, all the selection became as 1. So that is what happened, right? So when I highlight, if I highlighted all 3 and if I click on the same merge cell, whatever selected area that I have will become as one box. See, even if I selected this entire thing and if I selected the merge cell, do we have merge cell? No. We'll skip one row and we'll try. Yes. So all these things will become as 1, right? So merge cell mean to make it as 1, right? So which one will become as 1? Your selection, right? So make sure to select it properly before you apply merge cell. So I'm going to highlight these 3 and I'm going to right click and say merge cells. Simple, right? that is to merge cells together. But if you want to divide, right? So here that is what we're going to do, right? So we merge cells together, but in this case we have to divide. We have only one, but in this final outcome they have showed you two, right? This can be achieved in two different ways. What is the first way? We can use same merge cells to do that. How that is possible? I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to insert a column to the right. So now we have another extra column, right? So now we have an extra column, right? So if you know only the option merge cell, how can we achieve this? So we're going to highlight these all and we're going to merge one by one. If you know only to merge cells, correct? Now this will be no need to merge these two together, right? Or else we'll go back to the original position. Or else, how can we divide this? Right, that's very simple. If you know the way of using split cells, then simply we can divide this into two, right? So we can right click here, and like merge cell, we have something called split cells. So if you go to this split cells, it will ask you how many rows that you willing to split this specific cell, right? So I'm going to say uh, I need this to be divided into two columns, right? But in the same row. So I'm going to keep this one as it is and I'm going to say 2 here and I'll click OK. Very simple, right? Easy. That's all, right? Now we'll enter the data and we'll see the way of using these two symbols, right? I'm going to say main menu and I'm going to say, and here I'm going to say mandatory and optional, right? So I'll copy here, right? Now to select mandatory and optional, I need a checkbox. We call this as a checkbox, from where we can find that, right? So I'm going to keep my cursor here and go to home tab and from go to insert. Okay, so go to insert tab. From here you can see symbol, right? So these are the default symbols that we have, shortcuts, but we can have we have access. I mean, we have more symbols, but you can't access it from here. We have to go to more symbols. Then you will be taken to this window. Here we have huge number of symbols. There is a huge number of symbols that will be changed according to the style, right? See, there are some Arabic letters and there are some many things, right? So I'm going to go and change this font into something called, scroll all the way to the last, you will find something called Wingding. Wingdings, Wingdings 2, Wingdings 3. So these are the usual three styles that I use, because from these three you can find many usual symbols that we use in day-to-day life, right? So I'm going to go and select Wingdings. Here you will find those two symbols, right? So I'm going to select this, and if I click insert, this will be inserted to the place that you placed your cursor, right? This will be inserted to the place where you kept your cursor, right? So I have my cursor here, and when I click insert, this will be inserted here. If you need that to be inserted wherever you need, right, no need to come and find it here every time. You can create a shortcut key for your own usage. That will work only in this document. But how can we create that, right? Click on the shortcut key and you assign whatever shortcut key that you like. For example, make sure not to have the shortcut keys which is already allocated for some other purpose. For example, Control C is already occupied for what? To copy, right? Control E is for center align, right? But control Q, I have never experienced they have added this for something else, right? So whatever shortcut key which is not in use, you're going to assign it for this, right? So if you press control Q in the keyboard, that selected symbol will be inserted. So that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to say control Q, assign, close, close. So wherever you are in the document, if you press control Q, no need to go and find inside that wingding, this will be inserted. Right. So I'm going to have these two here. Just because only for two symbols, no need this, but if you're using it again and again in the same document, no need to go and find it in the same place. You can create a shortcut and you can use that shortcut while you're editing the document, so you will not be distracted. You can continuously write by having that story in your mind if you're writing an article, right? Okay, finally, this too already maybe some people know. So I'm going to say table 4 and I'm going to insert. We're going to assume like we don't have, I mean, we have lines here and we have lines in here too. So that is how we're going to calculate, and we're going to merge at the end, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows, right? 6, 8. 8 columns, sorry, 8 rows, right? 6 columns, and say 6 columns, and we'll highlight until 8 rows, right? So to the maximum, right? And then I'm going to highlight the first 1, 2, 3, 4, first 4, and I'm going to merge, and I'll highlight the second 4, I'm going to merge, right? So I'm going to reduce it by dragging it in this way. I'll merge this entire first row, and I'll do the same thing again here as well, right? Now we'll go and enter some data here, right? All below field must be filled before submit. Below field. I'm going to have this same text here, and here weekday and weekend. So I'm going to say weekday, and here I'm going to say weekend. But we have that in a different way, different direction. So I'm going to change the direction of these two texts by accessing layout. Here we have text direction. So the default direction that you will see, but if you click here, it will be rotated clockwise. See, if I click once, it's going towards this way. If I click it again, it's going towards this way. So these what we need, right? So you can click and see whatever directions that you like. If you are happy with this, you're going to keep it. And for this, they have applied a simple reduce the font size and applied italics. Reduce the font size, and they have applied italics. So I'm going to copy that italic and paste it here. So same font size, same italic. Right? So that's all. That's all. Right. Okay. So that's it for the day. And if you got any doubts in the table, you can ask me now. Anything to be clarified in the table? No need to wait. I mean, no need to go and check that recording. Even you can ask me. No issues. Anyone willing to ask me something? I'll go and save this. And since we got more time today, we'll wind up the session. completed file, I'm going to say 2, and I'll send you source code of or else I'll save this as PDF and I'll send you so that you can easily refer. Right. So now today you're supposed to work complete exercise number 5, right? So let me open something saying activity 2, and you're supposed to design this exercise number 5 and exercise number 4. Exercise number 4, I'll show you the completed one. Yes, so we have the PDF. Okay, so completed one, this one, so you can refer this file, and I'll get you the PDF version on this so you can give a try. Right. So I'll save as, and I'm going to go to MS Word, and I'm going to go to activity, and I'll save it as PDF, and I'll save. Right. So you're going to try this, and what else? So whatever you can see as 2, we have completed today, and we have these tabs. Yes, so you know the way of designing it. I'm going to give you the PDF file to refer the final outcome. Even the data can be copied, text files can be copied, and I'll give you this as well. Tabs, and what else? That is at the first day. So these are the activities that we tried today. And did I miss anything? Right. So yesterday I have explained you one. So with by including that, you're going to include these 3 exercises to the same activity, and you're going to submit all together. Right. So by next week, Tuesday, we're going to allocate that day to revise things, right? To do a revision, right? And I'm going to give you a practical exam. I'm going to give you a practical exam, and you have to do that practical exam by being with me, right? So you're going to come online, and while being online, very small activities. While being online, you're going to do it from your side, right? So I will be connected to this MS Teams, and you're going to do your works from your side. I will be connected and listening to you. Right? So that is how we're going to conduct the mock exam. And soon after completing one activity or one small activity, you're going to send me the proof to the WhatsApp group. Right? So I mean, I can't see all your screens, right? So I will be staying in the WhatsApp group, and you can send me the proof soon after completing each and every exercise. And if you got any doubts, you're going to ask me, right? Since it is a practical exam, I'll show you the way of doing it in the correct way, right? And then Wednesday, you're going to have your real exam, right? So you will be marked for it, right? You will be evaluated for your final exam, and then final exam, I'm not going to help you. I will be sending you an exam paper, and you have to design whatever you see in the exam paper as it is by using the same text, right? And while I'm teaching, I'm saying that you can have any contents and you can type your own words, things like that. But when it comes to exam, you're going to type the same text which is given in the exam paper, and you're going to design. You have to try your maximum to design as it is. So that is how you're going to score more marks, right? If it is there in the black color, you're going to keep it black color. You can't customize the color even in the exam, right? If it is bold, you're going to have it with bold, right? And if you are not sure with the font size, that can be decided, because you can't by looking at the exam paper, you can't assume the font size, right? So you can assume that and have any font size, but you have to try your maximum to design as it is. So that is the expectation of the lecturer and the exam criteria. And I will be testing. You have to send as a document file to me, and you have to submit to the portal, right? So the same assignment portal, I will be correcting the assignment portal within the week, and I will be enabling it, and you're going to submit that to the assignment portal as a Word file. So by opening your Word file, I know that is designed by you or designed by someone else and send it to you, or else you have I mean to design bullets and numbering, there is a way, right? So, and there is a manual way too, by giving some space bar and entering the number manually, and you can type the bullets, right? But by looking at that bullets and numbering editable document, I can refer and see whether you have did it in the original short way, or you used space bar and edited, kept your cursor in wherever you need and you edited. You will not get marks if you edited it in the manual way, right? By giving some space and entering details, it will not get you marks, right? You will end up getting only marks for data entering part, around 5, right? To enter data also we have marks in the marking scheme around 5, so that is the only marks that you will get if you uh, did it in that way, right? Okay, so be ready to face your exam, and bring all your doubts in the next Tuesday, and we're going to have our first online exam by Wednesday, right? Okay, anything else to be discussed? And the recording is still going on, and I'll stop it. It will be available I will send you, right? I'll send you yesterday's recording and today's recording to as a link to the WhatsApp group, right? Since there are very few people in